This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Brian McCornack, Department of Entomology at Kansas State University, and I was speaking with the Kansas Soybean Commission today on a second year of a project that actually involves K through 12 teachers, not only in the Manhattan area, which is of course where K-State is, but also engaging teachers outside of Manhattan as far as Weston, Kansas, Goodland, Kansas. And the ability to bring in those teachers from outside 383 was really primarily due to the support by the Kansas Soybean Commission this last year, which is kind of their first year funding it, but this is actually our second year. It was primarily supported by the United Soybean Board and Tiffany Hangmoss at the University of Nebraska, and then invited me to come in to participate in this process of getting teachers excited about science, but approaching it from an agricultural perspective, so using soybean as a model system. And so simply changing the type of seed you use to talk about germination can actually then allow those teachers to make connections across an entire system. And so you've got, instead of talking about lima bean, where there's hardly any acreage planted in Kansas, to something like soybean has over 4 million acres. So it literally defines the landscape around where most of these schools reside. Yet surprisingly, a lot of the kids don't know much about what soybean is or why we need it, let alone all the environmental factors that can influence growth and germination, or even the pests and other critters that I'm interested in since I am an entomologist, how that impacts production and the decisions that growers have to make year in and year out. And so the program has been very successful, so the whole point is, again, to teach them about inquiry, and so not just giving them the answers to the test, but really allowing them to ask questions and investigate through science. And so the scientific process, which is what, again, scientists do on a regular basis. So we bring them into the institute and they work with real-life researchers on over a 3-week period of time, 8 hours a day. And what we do is we break that up where they get exposure to scientists and how they think and what they do, and then we spend an afternoon actually developing a lesson plan around that topic. And so at the end of at least this last institute, which again was partially funded by the Kansas Soybean Commission, resulted in over 20 different lesson plans for grade levels 1 through 12th grade. And not just the germination is kind of an easy one, because I think a lot of teachers can relate to that. But I really challenge my teachers to think kind of outside of the box a little bit by introducing, for example, a physical activity. So capture the flag. My kids are very familiar with what capture the flag is, but let's change the characters and think about biological process that's going on in a leaf. And so renaming the characters and thinking about the processes that happen between them, and the stomates open and close, and why they open and close, and how does that relate to capturing a flag, and how can we, again, infuse the science into play to not only get them excited and interested, but get them thinking kind of outside of their own normal setting. So the United Soybean Board is very interested in kind of expanding this model into other states. And kind of what my more immediate interests are is maintaining that momentum that we have here in Kansas, and really looking to the Kansas Soybean Commission to provide that support, to bring those teachers in for 3 weeks, to give them stipends so they can pay for their daycare, pay for their travel, to come here and really immerse themselves in science, immerse themselves in the system of soybean, and so that they can, again, think about the world around them in a different way, which surprises most people, that is really driven by agriculture.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their Checkoff.